For many years, quantum computing is something that Bitcoin developers acknowledged, but they rarely debated it and took it serious. That has changed. Starting in 2025, quantum resistance has become one of the dominant topics that's routinely discussed on the Bitcoin Dev mailing list. And for those that aren't aware of it, the Bitcoin Dev mailing list is a place for Bitcoin developers to discuss proposals, discuss changes they want to make at a protocol level, upgrades, collaborate on issues, and just work together towards the direction of the project. I'm going to show you exactly more of what that looks like in this video, but that's the gist of it. This accelerated discussion and acknowledgement of the quantum threat in these Bitcoin Dev mailing lists on a more recurring basis tells us something important about the direction of where the industry and Bitcoin is going. So we're going to start out by covering what is the Bitcoin Dev mailing list. Let's pop up the screen and we'll take a look. So what we're looking at right now is we're looking at the Bitcoin Dev mailing list. In short, it's a public forum, a place for Bitcoin developers, researchers, and so on to openly discuss the direction of the project. As I mentioned just a second ago, put forth BIPs, which are Bitcoin improvement proposals, coordinate amongst each other, example upgrades, debate things big and small, just to name a few. If you want to know what Bitcoin developers are actively working towards and discussing, you're going to find it here and other places. So a really nice part about this is you can actually go to this URL that I'm sharing right here, and you can publicly go through and read and see what's going on in the discussions of the Bitcoin Dev mailing list. You can go through and look and see activity that's been taking place over the past few months. Going back a bit, you can go up here, search. Let's say you wanted to search and see how often quantum was mentioned. You can do that via a number of ways. You can do that via this as well. Dates back to last year. And it's really easy to try to get an understanding for how often quantum resistance and topics around that are being mentioned, which is really convenient. So I highly encourage you, after you view this, to go to this URL, check out, see, use the search function, quantum, start to see what's being discussed around the quantum threat, just to dabble whether you are technical, you're probably already aware of this, and if you're not, it's a way to get a sense for what Bitcoin developers are thinking in regards to planning and what can or can't be done regarding the quantum threat. Up through the end of 2024, quantum resistance wasn't a sustained topic of debate by any means. There was occasional mentions here and there, but they weren't concentrated, proposal level efforts and discussions that were happening as they are today. And in 2025, the tone has really changed, and I'm going to show you that in 1 second. In certain months, for example, in the Bitcoin mailing list, beginning in 2025, 20 to 30% of the mailing list messages overall had some mention of quantum security, quantum discussion, and just looking at the data, that's just clear that's showing Bitcoin developers are taking the threat a lot more seriously. What I'm going to pop up on screen right now is Willy Woo on Twitter. Full credit to him on the visuals and bringing this part up here. What he did on Twitter is he created a couple nice visuals that here you're looking at. They show how much more quantum and quantum resistance is mentioned in the Bitcoin Dev mailing list. And I think it's just a nice visual that shows how much more seriously Bitcoin developers are starting to take this threat today versus even 1 or 2 years ago. So why does this matter? This is a really important part to touch on. When developer discussions, such as this one within the Bitcoin community and developers, shifts from this is a someday risk to 20 to 30 years away to no discussion at all, and that changes to how would we implement this? Meaningful discussion and people talking about it on a more recurring basis, this strongly signals that the topic has matured, and these discussions are not going away, they're only accelerating. While the majority of blockchain projects globally, from Bitcoin to Ethereum, Solana, you name it, are all debating how they're going to transition to post-quantum security, others were built from the very beginning with post-quantum security in mind, and that difference really matters. Curel was built from the very beginning in 2018 with this in mind since day one, as the pioneering layer 1 blockchain that safeguards against future quantum threats. No migration, no we'll figure out quantum coordination later type event, no future fork to become quantum secure. It already is. Post-quantum security isn't a fringe idea anymore. It's the next phase of blockchain infrastructure. And the builders that step in now are going to be the ones that help shape what comes next for all of us.